So I'm here today with my fiancée, Nia, and we are suing for property damage and emotional distress, which was unfortunately done by my daughter, Ava, and orchestrated by my psychopath of an ex-wife, Tasha.
Okay, let's try to watch the incendiary language, because that's your daughter, right?
Yes.
That's her mother, right?
Yes.
She probably loves her, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, understood.
Okay, so what happened?
So we co-parent Ava, and we do it on a bi-weekly basis.
Has that been working?
It's been so-so.
All right, so tell me what happened in this case.
So the last time Ava was at my home with Nia, we had a date night planned between her and I. We were going to the theater and have dinner, things like this. But because of the change in behavior that I've noticed.
Well, let's talk about the change in behavior. When did you notice that happening, Nia? Let me talk to Nia a second. When did you notice that happening?
Yes, Your Honor. I started noticing probably shortly after we got engaged that Ava's behavior has been changing. She's normally very calm, sweet girl. We've become best friends.
You think she was upset about the engagement?
Perhaps.
Okay. Did you ever talk to her about that?
Well, yes. In fact, I started noticing little behavior at the very beginning. I didn't mention it first to my fiance because I wanted to address it with her one-on-one since we had a very close relationship. I noticed she was deleting stuff off of my cell phone. She
like what stuff?
Meetings, appointments. She was turning off
first of all, how did she get your hands on your cell phone? How does she know your code?
Well, yes, that's how close we've been. I'm practically...
My husband and I have the same code. That's a secret to a happy marriage. However, so did you ever confront her to see if she was doing that?
I did.
And what did she say?
She said she wasn't.
On the night that you guys go out, did you were starting to tell me that you had sat her down to talk to her?
Yes. So because of these, changes in behavior from Ava, before we left, we decided to sit her down and have a little pep talk with her, let her know just to behave for Kayla.
How old is she?
She's 9.
Okay, so I presume there was a babysitter. You weren't?
Yeah.
Correct,
okay.
Yeah.
And then go on.
We had a babysitter, Kayla. This is one of our family friends that we have babysit Ava.
And so you tell her, we want you to behave. You come home, and what happens?
Yep, so Nia decides to hop in the shower to get freshened up before bed.
And why don't you tell me what happens in the shower?
Yes, Your Honor. I go into the shower, I'm washing my hair, and I notice this really strong chemical odor. And I touch my hair, it's kind of burning, and just clumps of hair start to fall out. And I start screaming, and Denzel comes, I go into my closet and notice I had my wedding dress hanging from the alterations earlier that day, and there was grape juice also all over my dress.
Did you folks confront your daughter?
Yes, we definitely confronted her because, process of elimination, we kind of logically knew it was her, but she was very quiet and subdued and didn't really deny.
Well, were you quiet and subdued? Because if I came home and my wedding dress had grape juice and there were chemicals in my, I'd be worried that I needed to call the authorities. And, that's like pretty bad. So were you guys calm and subdued, or was somebody reading Ava the Riot Act?
I was upset for sure. At first I thought it might have been Kayla just because of the nature of the damage, but it didn't make any sense.
You thought it might be the babysitter?
Yeah.
Oh, that person shouldn't be your babysitter if you think that was the babysitter. What do you mean, the nature of the damage?
Well, I don't even know how Ava got a hold of hair removal products.
All right, so what do you guys do with Ava that night? Like, what do you do? What happens?
We gave her a stern talking to, definitely.
Stern talking to?
Yes. We just wanted to get the truth.
Why are you suing Mom?
Because she orchestrated that.
What makes you say that?
This is not true,
So,
Your Honor.
I overheard a FaceTime call that happened between Ava and Tasha. And I heard Tasha giving her words of affirmation, like, yes, you must hurt people before they hurt you.
Wait, I'm sorry, you hear that and then you go off on the town to have it paint the town red? You don't think that maybe, you ought to stick around and see what's happening and find out what's happening, walk in the room and say, what are you telling her?
Well, to be fair, Judge.
You know
Your
what?
Honor,
Hold on. Let me hear from you.
All right, this situation is already messy, but then it just keeps leveling up. First off, this dude, why is he out here calling his ex-wife a psychopath in front of his daughter? I'm like, dude, this poor kid is trying to figure out hopscotch and snack time, and now she's front row at a live-action family drama. She didn't sign up to living. She didn't even choose to live. She's literally just trying to exist. And then we get to what the daughter actually did in this situation. And guys, it's diabolical. Hair removal in the shampoo. This is a full-on villain origin story. That's the kind of plan that requires thinking, timing, and execution. Like, she didn't just wake up one day and do it on accident. This was like a full-on secret mission. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, what happened behind the scenes for this to get escalated to this? Because most kids act out with like hiding shoes or refusing to go to bed early. But guys, the possibility then comes up that the mom might have been the one who planted the seeds in this kid's head. So now it's not just some crazy family drama that we're in. It's become now a full secret agent briefing before bedtime. And the sad part is meanwhile, the adults are just going back and forth, escalating everything. And the kid is stuck in the middle trying to process all of it.
Are you aware of any behavioral changes?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what were they from? What do you think was going on?
Ever since the divorce, my daughter has been talking about how she's been angry at dad. I tell her, you have the right to feel that way. I'm more of an emotionally supporting parent, but at the same time, I'm like strict, a little bit of both. And so I'll just tell her, it's okay to feel, like I don't want her to just dismiss, because that's not healthy either. But also I didn't want this divorce, and, he sort of just up and left. So I can't blame her for feeling the way she did, when your dad just disappears.
But that happens. And as hurt as we may be, when we don't want a relationship to end, you love your daughter, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And you want her to have a healthy upbringing where she loves both her parents and both her parents love her, right? Yes. Regardless of how much he hurt you. Yes. Is he a good dad to her?
Sometimes he can be a bit emotionally dismissive. That's one of the reasons we got a divorce.
Okay, let me ask you this though. What happened that night? Did you talk to your daughter that night?
Yes, we FaceTime, and
you did have a FaceTime conversation with her.
We did.
Tell me about that conversation.
So she FaceTimed me. She said she wanted to pour grape juice on the dress, and I was like, you have the right to feel. She said she wanted to put hair removal in her shampoo. And then I had said that someone can't hurt you if you hurt them first. I was speaking out of emotion.
You really said that?
I was speaking out of emotion.
John, please stop. You really said that?
I was upset at something totally different, and
there it is, guys. I mean, this is so disgustingly diabolical. Like, the mother heard the daughter saying, I want to do these things to my new future stepmommy. And of course, the spiteful woman over here is so upset at her ex-husband for leaving that she then basically says, well, you got to hurt others before they hurt you. I mean, this is how you raise a child to do bad things in the future. I mean, they're learning literally the worst case scenario possible, and they're getting it from their mother. Like, she can be upset. Yes, let's just use your own advice. You can be upset with your future stepmommy. You could be upset with your ex-husband for leaving and just up and leaving and marrying a new woman. Absolutely. But the fact that you're then going to just take your daughter and just plant these seeds in her head tells me that you are not actually trying to do anything good for your daughter, and you're just using her as a pawn for your own spiteful thoughts and feelings about the situation. I feel like this mother is responsible so far, but what do you guys think?
And I was...
Wait, you told your daughter, they can't hurt you if you hurt them first? You counseled your daughter to hurt someone?
I didn't mean it literally.
Well, what else did you say in that FaceTime conversation?
And then she also told me how she wanted to rip the cards, and I had...
What cards are we talking about?
The invitations.
Hold on. What happened with the invitations?
Yes, Your Honor. We found about 50 out of the 75 of our wedding invitations ripped up and in Ava's toy chest.
How did you even... Okay, but how did she get her hands on them? Like, how are the invitations not in your control? I don't get it.
They were on the kitchen table, Your Honor.
Oh, it wasn't time for them to go out yet?
They're about to go out. They were saved the dates.
What did she ask you about the invitations?
She said that she wanted to rip them up, and I told her, you have the right to feel that way, and you can express in your own way. And I guess she misinterpreted that and actually acted.
Misinterpreted that? Do you think your daughter is stupid? I mean, really? Misinterpreted that. Do you think we're all stupid in this courtroom? I mean, the fact that she thinks that what she said is completely fine and there's nothing wrong with it, and oh, she just took it the wrong way. She's passing the blame down to her daughter. She's trying to remove all responsibility for this, when in reality, you know, she's sitting back there and she's like, I'm so glad that this is happening. I mean, how the heck does a 9-year-old get hair removal? You know, how does she get this? How does she get the grape juice to spill on the, you know, the wedding dress? How does she even come up with these ideas? I mean, I feel like looking at this young girl, she's not thinking much right now. She's thinking about maybe going and playing, maybe some ice cream, you know. She's not that diabolical. Look at her. She's so innocent looking. So in my opinion, this mother here is evil.
Interpreted that and actually acted up on it. I didn't mean literally, Your Honor. I apologize.
She's 9. Ava, can I ask you what happened?
Well, I wanted to FaceTime my mom because I felt like Dad was spending more time with Nia, and I know we had a lot of time. We spent a lot of time together, and I liked that, but I didn't like how they left me alone, and I wanted to talk.
You didn't want them to leave you behind that night? Okay.
No. And I FaceTimed my mom, and I told her how I felt, and she said, I told her how I was angry at the moment. I told her I wanted to do these things, and she said, yes, you can do them.
That's what you heard, right? Yes, you can do them. Sure sounded that way, right? What happened after you did them?
They sat me down and they told me to do, if I asked me if I could do that, if I did that, and I just sat there.
You didn't
know.
Did you ever say you did it?
No.
Did you do it? Come on, we know the answer. Don't look to her for that. You can answer. Yeah, we know you did it. And you say you did it because your mom was telling you it was okay to do.
And I thought that meant I could do it, but now that I see it's wrong, it was wrong.
You knew it was wrong then too, right? Yeah. You knew you shouldn't pour grape juice on her wedding dress and rip up invitations, and much less put hair removal in a shampoo bottle. I'm a little bit concerned.
Your Honor, I offered to pay for the wedding dress and the invitations, but he said no. He was angry at me.
That's not what I'm concerned about.
You offered to pay for the wedding dress and the invitations? Girl, you can't pay for her to grow her hair back. I mean, you know, take some Rogaine and slap it on her head. Maybe the hair will grow back, but she's going to have little baby hairs, and that's not going to look good on her wedding day. The fact of the matter is that you told your daughter that it's okay for her to go and sabotage her stepmom, her future stepmom. And that is the issue here. You are complicit in, to be honest with you, what would be considered a crime. That would be considered a crime. If I went to some random person and I just put hair removal on their head, that is considered a crime. And so this mother is definitely a participant. You know what I'm saying? If someone tells someone and eggs them on to go plan some sort of bank robbery or something, like, they are a participant in this. So I don't know why this mother thinks that it's not a big deal.
I know that's what the subject of the lawsuit is, and I will take care of that in a moment. I am a little bit concerned that we have a child who's going through difficulty in a divorce, and that you think that the right thing to do, of course you acknowledge her feelings, but when a child is telling you, I feel like doing X, oh yeah, no one can hurt you if you hurt them first. You are literal. See, normally, this is how it would work. There's a child. The child's a child. The child's in your custody. You're the parent. Parents aren't usually held responsible for a child's action unless they put a weapon in their hand. They did, you know, they have to have done something really major, okay? If he's taking care of the child at that point, then that's his disciplinary issue at that point. However, in this case, you're literally giving her permission to do these things. A 9-year-old tells you that, and your answer should be, no, honey, we don't do that. We have our feelings, and we'll talk to Dad about our feelings, but we don't do these things you're talking about, because that would be really mean, and we're not mean. So we're going to find another way to express our anger. Why don't we sit down and write a letter? That's what a mother does. You don't sit there and say to her, yes, have at it.
Your Honor, she's
it's
never
one
done
thing
this
for the
before.
feelings to be legitimate. Of course, you legitimize the feeling. It's another thing to say, and therefore we think that you should blind someone, potentially.
Your Honor, she's never acted like this before. Like, she's never done something outrageous.
Well, I am concerned about how she's acting, and we're going to talk about that in a second, but I'm really concerned about how you're acting. I'm really concerned that you would put the tools in your daughter's hands to do something like this instead of nipping it in the bud immediately the minute she says it, it comes out of her mouth. How is it that you're not coaching her through her anger as opposed to saying, hey, yeah, let's do it?
Well, I didn't mean it that way.
Well, but that's exactly how the 9-year-old heard it. And I don't think you're a stupid woman.
No.
No,
Your
I
Honor.
think you knew that maybe the 9-year-old would hear it that way, which
But I didn't
kind of
think-
makes me really worried when you're using your 9-year-old as a tool to hurt him and her.
That's not my intention. I actually still have feelings for him, Your Honor.
Yeah, I know you still have
don't-
feelings, so that's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
There's some screws loose in this mother's head. I mean, like, come on. You really think that is not the incriminating argument that you're like, well, I'm still in love with him? It's like, yeah, no shit. That's why you're doing it. That's why you are choosing to use your daughter as a saboteur so that maybe the future stepmommy is like, I don't want to participate in this. I'm afraid for my life. You can go back with your ex. That is why this whole thing makes sense, and why I believe that Judge Milian is going to make her pay for it.
Now we're going to talk about, hey, because I got to tell you, this is some pretty vicious stuff that she did. I mean, if my child had done that, I would want to make sure that my child was in therapy, because that is very destructive behavior. And somewhere along the line of raising her, her gut at 9, because she's not 2, she's 9, should be telling her, I shouldn't do this. And yet, you're overriding her gut and telling her to do it and encouraging her to do it.
Your Honor, I actually tried to get her counseling before we got a divorce, but he refused to get any counseling for his anger and control
For
issues.
his anger, okay, he's not your problem anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, we're here because a 9-year-old voiced 9-year-old whims, and you didn't nip it in the bud. You encouraged it. You put your daughter in the horrible position of having to be in my courtroom and testify about her behavior. Okay, you think she wants to be here?
No.
No, she doesn't. But you did this to her. You really did. And if you want to get her therapy, it has nothing to do with him. Forget him. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. The only role he has is being her dad. If you want her to have therapy, have her have therapy. Tell me the reasoning behind her not being in therapy.
It costs a lot of money, Your Honor.
Okay, does insurance cover it?
No.
Okay, does the school have counselors that you can talk to?
Yes, but it also costs money.
In school?
Yes, because she's in a private school. I've been paying for her to go to a private.
Right, but isn't that part of what you're paying for already?
That's school counseling. That's not really like therapy.
No, I know it's not therapy, but it's better than nothing. It's better than what you're doing. Do you have anything else to say for yourself?
I have been trying to be more strict with her because she has been acting out at school as well. And I have looked into different therapy sources for myself because I know I'm going through some things too.
I think you need therapy too. And I think that you need to talk to somebody, because it's one thing for a 9-year-old to do vicious things. There's time still. But you're an adult, and you're the adult in her life, and she's looking to you for her cues. And your cues cannot be revenge. That can't be your cues to her. No matter how much he hurt you, because for her sake, you have to move on. You cannot play this petty game in order to get back at him and harm her the way you've harmed her.
I understand, Your Honor.
I'm ruling in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of the $3,500 for the actual damages and an additional $2,000 in punitive damages for your conduct. And that's $5,500 for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
Judge Millian has ruled in favor of the plaintiffs. Defendant owes $5,500.